KS Services is now offering preventative maintenance plans as low as $12 a month. Preventative maintenance is so important when it comes to your HVAC system. Let us come check your system out and perform our 22-point inspection. It's better to be safe than sorry. We have so many plans to choose from and special offers that go along with them. Call today for more information. 205-322-9090. Alabama license number 11120.
Here's your Weather Xtreme video for the Sunday morning, November the 11th. I'm meteorologist Bill Murray, and it's a study in temperatures across north and central Alabama this morning. Some rainfall on the way as well. Let's look at 5:45. Well, these are 5 a.m. official observations right here. And they don't really tell the whole story. 36 at Birmingham, 36 at Tuscaloosa, 34 over at Anniston, and 34 degrees down in Calera at the National Weather Service at the Shelby County Airport. Well, really not at the National Weather Service, but at the Shelby County Airport at least, where the National Weather Service is located. But zeroing in on the lowest temperatures observed over the last 6 hours tells a little bit of a different story. You remember 36 at Birmingham. The low so far at Birmingham, 30 degrees. That was observed around 1:30 a.m. You have to look at the 5 a.m. or the 5-minute observations to see that. And I wonder if that's going to be the official low, because there's some crazy ways that they do that in terms of calculating what the actual low is. But we were as low as 30 degrees at 1:30 this morning in Birmingham. We've been as low as 32 over in Anniston, 34 at the Shelby County Airport, 33 at Tuscaloosa. Bessemer, 28, Coleman, 24. You can see these areas in light blue experiencing a freeze definitely overnight. And zeroing in a little closer around 5:45 this morning, we see, adding in the Meso-West observations, we see some even colder locations. How about 26 up at Forney in Cherokee County, or maybe 26 at Speake in Lawrence County? You can see those readings there. Of course, 28 at Jasper. I see 26 up at Russellville. But you get the idea that much of northwestern Alabama experienced a freeze. Goodbye growing season. Goodbye freeze warnings for those areas. Most likely as we move through time, because the National Weather Service stops issuing frost and freeze advisories when the growing season has effectively ended, and I think that's happened over northwest Alabama. Now for your Sunday, moisture increasing ahead of a disturbance out to the west. We'll see increasing cloudiness. Those clouds will hold down temperatures again today. A lot of space, really in the I-20 corridor. I think we'll be in the lower 50s, 50 to 52 degrees. Go to the north, you might not get out of the 40s. Parts of Lamar County, Marion County, up into Winston and Franklin counties, and especially over northeast Alabama. Those spots won't get out of the 40s today. Now, we could see a few showers getting shaken out of the fast flow over the southeast. You can see the flow at 35,000 feet, about 300 millibars. Early this morning, showing a split flow pattern across the United States. The northern branch of the jet stream, those winds as high as 140, 150 miles an hour over parts of Iowa and the Midwest. Here over Alabama, strong flow here as well. And that could shake out a few showers as we go through today. Those winds running around 90 to 110 miles an hour across Alabama and the deep south. Now, you saw that trough over the Rockies, if you were paying attention there. And that trough is going to help spin up a little bit of low pressure along the Gulf Coast, sweep a wave to the east. And I tell you what, folks, if this were January, we'd be looking at a pretty significant snow event for Alabama. These are the kind of events that produce snow extensively here in our climatology. But for Alabama, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on which end of the snow fan bench that you sit, we won't be dealing with any snow, at least tomorrow or early Tuesday across north or central Alabama. Now, I'll use the wharf at 3 a.m. on Monday to sort of depict what I think will be going on. I think this has a good handle on things. A few showers getting into west Alabama late tonight, early tomorrow morning, right before you wake up to head out, school or work. Look at the heavier showers, though, back over eastern Texas, northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, into western Mississippi. This activity will be spreading eastward, increasing in coverage as we go through the day. Look at those thunderstorms just off the Gulf Coast. That's going to be a bit of a severe weather threat for the Gulf Coast, as we will see in just a minute. Now, moving forward in time to noon on Monday, you can see this is probably the high water mark of rainfall across Alabama, showing an extensive area of moderate to occasionally heavy rain across a good bit of central Alabama. Some of those rainfall amounts could quite pile up as we go through time. Strong thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast where there may be a bit of a severe weather threat. Places like Mobile, Pensacola, Fort Walton, Dothan, Panama City, back along the Mississippi coast and into Louisiana. Marginal threat of severe weather from the folks at the Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow. Across the rest of Alabama, we could see an isolated clap of thunder or two, but no severe thunderstorms expected. Tomorrow, again, just a wet day, cold, dreary. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down, said Karen Carpenter. Not if you're a meteorologist. I'll be trying to work outside as much as I can tomorrow because the weather will be quite nice if you're a duck or a meteorologist. But here's the wave of low pressure depicted in the dew point chart with the 2-meter winds thrown on top of it there for you to look at. Showing that wave moving out of southeastern Alabama to western Georgia, effectively shutting off the rain late tomorrow night. I think rain will end in places like Gadsden, Birmingham, and Tuscaloosa after midnight, but will probably continue into the morning hours ending around noon over southeast Alabama. It'll be a blustery cold day on Tuesday. High temperatures topping out in the morning around 42 degrees, falling through the afternoon, and throwing a cold north wind, and just will not be a fun day, unless you're a polar bear or something. So rainfall amounts from the Weather Prediction Center have actually been ratcheted up a bit, I think, since this chart, which I pulled a little bit before the new chart came out. 1 to 2 inches of rain across the northwestern half of Alabama, 2 to 4 inches of rain to the southeast. You can see some representative amounts there, like 1.9 inches at Gadsden, 1.7 at Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. I think that's pretty close, but probably some folks across parts of Cherokee, not Cherokee, but Coosa, Talladega, Tallapoosa counties might see 2 inches out of this system, 2 to 4 inches amount. 2 to 4 inch amounts over South Alabama could cause some flooding problems as rainfall becomes a bit excessive in those areas. So Tuesday is your blustery, changeable day. Wednesday should dawn bright, clear, partly cloudy skies, some stratocumulus clouds behind the system. And it will be quite chilly to start the morning. Look at these morning lows on Wednesday morning. I think this will be the coldest morning of the year so far for all of north and central Alabama. If you escaped the killing frost yesterday or today, I think you won't escape it come Wednesday morning. So be thinking in your mind, dressing warmly Wednesday morning if you're heading out to work or school. Widespread 20s across north and central Alabama, calling for a low of 26 at Birmingham. And I think that's fairly representative. Now, Wednesday, again, partly cloudy, a fairly nice day, although it'll be a little cool. Temperatures topping out around 50 degrees across north and central Alabama. But hey, look, the tropics have one more surprise for us. This is Wednesday morning. The National Hurricane Center tracking a tropical wave now near 50 west. It's going to move to the northwest and be sort of north of Hispaniola, or really north of Puerto Rico at this time, Wednesday morning. And there are indications from the GFS and the other models that this could be subtropical or tropical storm Patty. And I don't think the tropics are quite done with this yet. But the good news is this will move to the west-northwest. It should stay northeast of the Bahamas, east of the United States, turn out to sea, head of that trough over the Rockies that we saw. Now, the GFS, remember, last week the European was latched onto the idea that we might actually have a little bit of snowfall, especially southern Tennessee, maybe even northwest Alabama late in the week, but then it sort of backed off on that idea as we went through time. I was calling for a dry temperature forecast when I wrote all this, but the overnight model, the GFS, showing maybe a few snowflakes northwest Alabama, northeast Mississippi, western Tennessee. I wouldn't expect any accumulations from this situation, but maybe some light freezing rain up to southern and middle Tennessee, with a fairly significant potential for ice storm conditions across Asheville and western North Carolina. So we'll be watching that closely. A few showers into eastern Alabama. Don't know if that's going to happen yet. Got my Wednesday forecast dry, but by noon I may change that to indicate those few showers if this trough continues to get support from the global models. Now, let's see. Thursday. Depends on what we have there. Probably some clouds, temperatures, hanging in the lower 50s by daytime highs. Unless something changes and we buy into that GFS idea, it might be a little cooler, a little wetter. We'll continue to watch that. Friday should be a decent day. Temperatures topping out in the lower 50s and setting the stage for a fairly nice but cold weekend. Temperatures Saturday and Sunday will be topping out in the upper 40s to lower 50s under partly cloudy skies. Now, kind of zooming forward, good news, getting out into sort of voodoo, or at least gobble-gobble territory. Here's the forecast for next Wednesday, showing temperatures in the 60s across all of central Alabama as we get into a nice little warm-up. And I think that's quite nice. So Turkey Day promising to be fairly nice. Few light showers might be over western Alabama if you kind of believe what you see in the models right now. But I think tenacious high pressure draw east will be holding on to the conditions over Alabama and giving us fairly nice conditions. Now, quick preview of the Iron Bowl. How about 6 o'clock on, that'll be about the time the Iron Bowl ends on Saturday night, the 24th. Showing 72 at Tuscaloosa. Now, would that not be outstanding Iron Bowl weather? We've had some outstanding Iron Bowl weather in the past and some not so nice Iron Bowl weather as well, but that will go down in the record books if that pans out as one of the best. Now, really out in voodoo land, let's go to the end of the period. How about Monday the 26th? Look at that low over northeastern Arkansas. Northeastern Oklahoma. That system's got my attention. A lot of heavy rain over the Arklatex, Arklamiss, whatever you want to call it, and looks like this system could portend heavy rain and maybe even some strong to severe thunderstorms for Alabama as we get ready to close down November, still in the heart of our secondary severe weather season. Well, that's your Weather Xtreme video for this Sunday the 11th. I have notes on the blog in just a few minutes. Have an updated forecast for you around noon today. Of course, we're always right here on the blog, keeping you updated on the very latest on Alabama weather. But until I get back in this chair next Sunday morning, have a great week. Keep an eye to the sky because there's always something interesting to look at.